According to multiple NBA insiders, the Knicks have made a massive decision on Bojan Bogdanovic and his contract option for next season. And this could have major implications for the Knicks and their offseason moves. We're going to break down these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks make a major decision on Bojan Bogdanovic's future in New York. We can talk about OG Anunoby and his contract extension. We can talk about Isiahs Hartenstein and his contract extension. But for me, what the Knicks did with Bogie's option for next season was the most important thing, because we all already know there have been multiple reports confirming that this offseason, the Knicks are looking to make a major trade happen. If that's the case, they're going to need a couple of things. They're going to need picks. They have that. They're going to need players that other teams desire. They have that as well, too. They're also going to need a large contract to help facilitate that trade. As of right now, they don't really have that. However, once they pick up Bogie's option, they absolutely will. And I'm not the only one saying that. 3 NBA insiders actually reported that the Knicks are likely going to pick up Bogie's option and use him as a trade candidate. Let's break down these latest reports about Bojan Bogdanovic and what the Knicks are planning to do with him moving forward. Shout out to Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype for giving us the following information. Recently, he had a podcast where he had on SNY's Ian Bagley and the New York Post Steph Bondi, 2 great NBA insiders, where they discussed Bojan Bogdanovic, his contract, and what the Knicks plan to do with him. And here's what they stated. According to Scotto, the expectation as of now is the Knicks will guarantee Bojan Bogdanovic's salary for the upcoming season, and he'll become a trade candidate in the final year of his contract as a result. That would put him at $19 million for the 2024-2025 season. There are a lot of guys around the league that have a similar type of contract. The Knicks also have draft picks in the future they can dangle. Scotto continues here by stating the Knicks have always prioritized the flexibility of being able to trade for a star. That's why they have a boatload of draft picks and flexible contracts they can include in deals. We can talk about the draft. We can talk about filling the void, adding vets, but it's clear. The Knicks have one goal, making sure they have enough assets, the contracts, and the players to make that trade for a star. At the end of the day, that's still their goal. Steph Bondi with the New York Post said the following about Bojan Bogdanovic. They made that trade for Bogie mid-season with the idea, as you mentioned, Mike, that they could use his salary as a means to trade for a star because they need to match salary somehow. I think that's their ideal route, where they guarantee that money and then they make a trade. I struggle with this every summer because I ask, who's going to become available and who are the Knicks going to trade for? Right now, I still don't see who that player is. Honestly, until the offseason starts, you're not going to really see who that player is. We need a list of disgruntled stars. Once we get that, we'll know who the Knicks are likely going to go after and who they're going to want to trade for. But until then, it's of course going to be a guessing game because we don't know who's on that list yet. Ian Bagley states the following about Bogie as well. I agree with keeping Bojan because he played well before he got hurt. And if you don't have his salary, where are you looking in terms of salary to move out in a trade? Julius Randle is going to be right under $30 million next year. Mitchell Robinson is just under $15 million. You don't have a ton of options in terms of middle of the road salaries at a good number where you can put together a package to match a big number. That's why I think the Knicks will guarantee Bojan. We have 3 NBA insiders basically confirming the exact same thing. The Knicks are going to pick up Bogie's option, and the reason they're going to do that is twofold. One, according to Ian Bagley, he fits. He was doing well before he got injured. And of course, he offers the Knicks that shooting off the bench. So that's why he's going to be retained. But he's also going to be retained for the same reason that the Knicks started this season with Evan Fournier as part of the roster, because they need a large contract on this team to help them potentially facilitate a trade down the road. Whether that's this offseason, before the trade deadline, whenever the Knicks are looking to make that major move, once a player that they covet is available, they're going to need picks, players, and large contracts. And they're going to have all of that once they pick up Bogie's option. That's why they're going to do it. And for me, I knew they were going to do that once they made the trade for Bojan Bogdanovic during the season. Because once you traded Evan Fournier, you needed a large contract back in return. And once you saw that Bojan Bogdanovic's deal for next season was partially guaranteed, and if the Knicks guaranteed it, it was going to be around $19 million, that is perfect for the Knicks and what they're looking to do in terms of trades. Because as Steph Bondy, Ian Begley, and of course Mike Scotto stated, if you have a contract like that, it matches a lot of other players' contracts around the league, potentially players that the Knicks want and covet. If that's the case, it makes the most sense in the world for the Knicks to do this because it helps you twofold. It gives you that shooter that you need for next season in case you can't move him in a trade for a star. And if you can move him in a trade for a star, you have the contracts that you need, the picks that you need, and the players that you need. Either way, it's going to help the Knicks to do this. That's why they're going to do it. Now, as Bondy stated, he doesn't know which star the Knicks are going to go after. The reason we don't know is because that disgruntled star list has not come out yet. The offseason has not come yet. Once we get into offseason mode, we're going to know all the players that are potentially available for a trade. Once we have that list, we're going to be able to identify easily what players the Knicks are going to target and go after. And if the Knicks have what it takes to be able to create a package to get that player on this team. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. The Knicks have a lot of decisions to make, but hearing that they're likely going to pick up Bogie's option is music to my ears. They needed to do this to make that major trade happen. Hearing that they're likely going to do that means that that major trade is on the horizon. It is very close. We just need to understand and wonder who's going to be that major star the Knicks are going to trade for and what that package is going to look like. That's what we need to think about right now. Whether or not they're going to do it, whether or not they want to, that's not a question anymore. It's very clear. The Knicks have all of these assets because they want to trade for a star. That's their number one goal. Maybe they have other goals, secondary goals, draft, get some vets, make sure they get players on great contracts. I'm sure those are part of some of their goals. But the main goal is to get another star on this team to pair alongside Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. You have two all-stars already. You add another all-star to this team that doesn't take away from the chemistry and what those two add on offense, you're building or helping to build an even better contender in New York. That's the goal. That's what Leon Rose is trying to do. That's why that star player is going to be a necessity for the Knicks to go out and get. And I know a lot of people think the Knicks don't need another star. They're good the way they are. They are good the way they are. And potentially, they can get all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. But is that all you want? Because for me, that's not all I want. I want a championship. And I can be honest with myself and say, with the roster that we have right now, even if we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, it would be a highly competitive matchup against Boston, but would we win? Maybe, maybe not. I don't like having a lot of maybe nots in my life. I like to correct that. The way you do that is by adding another star or all-star to this team. If you can add the right star to this team, you can build a legit contender that can defeat Boston and go all the way to the NBA Finals. That's the goal for me, getting to that dance. Because if you get there, you have a chance to end the drought and bring a championship home to New York. And that's the ultimate goal. That's what we have to do. And right now, Leon Rose is being patient because he already knows adding the right star to this team is the most important thing. That's what helps us get a championship. Adding the wrong star can put us back a couple of years, and maybe we never recover. Leon knows that as well, too. We are in a very important time as a franchise right now. Yes, it's very exciting. Yes, we are in a very good position. Yes, we have all the assets to make a major move happen. The only question is, what's that major move? And we should never rush to do that. We should wait, be patient, and look and see what stars are available that can help complement the culture and the environment we're looking to build, what we're trying to attain, and what we're trying to do for the long haul. This is not a one-year plan. This is a plan that we're trying to keep in place for multiple seasons because we want to be a playoff team, a legit contender each and every year. Even after we win a championship, we still want to be in that conversation. And if that's the case, you need to make the right moves. And right now, we have the perfect person for the job. He has set us up in one of the best positions we've been in years to make a major trade happen this offseason. And all we have to do is do what we've been doing for the last few seasons. Be patient, wait, and trust in Leon Rose. We did that, and we got OG Anunoby and kept all of our first-round picks. You're telling me that Leon Rose is not going to make another major move this offseason? If you don't believe that, just hold on to your seat and watch him make magic happen again. Because I promise you, another major move is coming. And it's happening as soon as the offseason gets here. And we're just a few days away from that. But what about you guys? What do you think about these latest reports indicating that the expectation is that the Knicks will pick up Bogie's option for next season? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.